Now I'm gonna make you put your hands back together for this next comic. Give it up for Sarah Aswell!
Hello, how are you guys doing tonight? I'm gonna trash my 15-year-old titty bit and start somewhere else tonight. Even though it's really funny. I love that bit. I am so happy to be here tonight instead of at home with my family. I've got 2 little girls, and they want to watch Little Mermaid every single night now. And I just have to kind of leave my body and meditate about mermaids while this happens. And you'd think a movie called Little Mermaid would answer questions about mermaids, but really it raises more questions. I just sit there, I'm like, do mermaids self-govern? Are mermaids apex predators? Does mermaid pussy smell like land? The other thing my daughters want to... Wow, sounds like someone over here dated a mermaid. The other thing my daughters want to do every night is read The Ugly Duckling, and it's just so crazy. Like, most classic children's stories teach you a lesson or a moral, like, you know, The Tortoise and the Hare is about, like, slow and steady wins the race, and Humpty Dumpty is about how death is forever. But The Ugly Duckling, it just goes totally off the rails. Like, the moral seems to be like, if you're ugly, it's okay, because just maybe you're a member of a different species. And in that species, you're totally hot. Yeah. Is this a lesson we want to teach to our ugly people? Like, it's okay, Bob. Like, you're not a disgusting human. You're like a super fuckable manatee. Go to the ocean, Bob. You were just put in the wrong nest. The manatee sluts are waiting for you. I have really good evidence that I'm not attractive. I'm 36 years old, and I've never once in my whole life been catcalled. I lived in New York City. Oh no. Are you wearing a hard hat? If not, it doesn't count. I'm sorry. Try again in the streets later. I even lived in Queens, New York, and I never once got catcalled. I walked to and from work every day past these sprawling construction sites. I could hear women like right ahead of me and right behind me being catcalled, and never once. Like, after a while, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna start dressing slutty and making the first move. So I'd walk down the street like, hi. But every time I tried to make contact with the construction workers, they would just start to like hammer really hard, and they'd be sawing. Like, I am the only reason that buildings are finished in New York City. And that was 20 pounds ago, so yeah, I judge time in pounds now, and time is flying. I went to the doctor this week because I've gained some weight in the last year, just to see what the problem was. I was hoping that I had a tumor on my pituitary gland that would just need, you know, chemo and surgery. But instead, it turns out I have to eat less. been really hard for me after the diagnosis. But my doctor sat me down and he was like, you just need to cut back on cakes. And I was like, wait, what? He said cakes with an S, plural, cakes. Like, I was diagnosed by a medical professional for eating cakes. Yeah. Like, he didn't even do any tests. So that's been hard. I mean, now I walk around, I'm like, do I just look like someone who eats cakes? Like, everyone's like, oh yeah, there's a cakes eater. Like, I wonder why she's not eating cakes right now. Maybe she finished them. Yeah. And there's a huge, huge difference between cake and cakes. Like, cake is like, Jennifer had a sensible piece of cake. And cakes is like, run! Sarah's coming, hide your cakes! Yeah, it's really sad. My older daughter's in preschool. She came home the other day and said that Smokey the Bear came in to teach her about forest fires. And I was like, that's so great. What did you learn about forest fires? And she was like, that bears are scary. I was like, okay, that's true. Yeah, Did you learn anything about forest fires? And she explained that, like, there was a pamphlet that explained about forest fire prevention. And I was like, okay, let's sit down and read the pamphlet together. And she said I didn't get one. And I was like, why not? And she was like, the bear had them. At this point, I was like, why are we having bears teach children about forest fires? Like, we're gonna teach you about it's a scary entity, fire, but then we've got bears, which are much scarier. Like, is that really the path we want to go down? Like, for education of children? Like, next week, is it gonna be like, oh, okay, this werewolf's gonna come in and teach you about stranger danger. And the werewolf's like, don't talk to normal people. And then the week after that, we're gonna have the ghost of a dead boy teach you about cavities. And the boy will be like, brush your teeth and solve my murder. And then the week after that, Bob the Manatee comes in and teaches you about self-esteem.